Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I want to talk to you about the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I've been using this alongside my iPhone 16 Pro Max for a few weeks now, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you. But before we jump into the video, if you've not been here before, my name is Jess, and on my channel I like to talk about all things tech, productivity and lifestyle. So if that's the sort of content that you like, why not hit the subscribe button and let's jump straight into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the design of the new Pixel 9 Pro XL, and there's a couple of things that have changed quite dramatically from the Pixel 8, so let's touch on those. So first off, let's talk about the frame and the chassis design of this phone. So as you can see, we've gone to a curved kind of box-like look similar to the iPhone. Previous were more square, a little less uncomfortable in the hand, I would say. This has also got aluminium frame, which is nice, although it does pick up a few fingerprints along the way. And you have this matte kind of back glass. It is kind of frosted, which I really like. It's cool, and I think that the porcelain colour really accentuates that. So it's a really nice looking phone. In terms of how it feels in the hand, it's really comfortable. I find that it feels lighter than the 16 Pro Max, but also feels smaller in hand compared to it as well, which is a little bit strange considering they're very similar in size. But yes, so it's a very comfortable phone to handle, a little bit slippy, but not too bad. And like most people, you're going to put a case on this. The case that I've particularly gone for is the Spigen, this nice clear with the MagSafe. So, you know, if you've got MagSafe accessories, you can put this case on and you can still use them whilst protecting your phone. So that's and I'll link that in the description as well for anyone who's interested in looking at getting one of those cases. The other design change that we've seen on here is the camera bump. This is now a more pronounced kind of bump. Looks really nice. It does stick out quite a bit. Previous models, they've kind of wrapped around, where this is kind of like just in the middle. It's a 3-camera setup. Love the aluminium, looks really cool. Really makes it stand out from the crowd, in my opinion. I think it's a really nice looking phone. It's probably the most nice looking phone that I've had in a long time. I do like how the iPhones are, but in terms of aesthetics, this is a really nice look. So the design, yeah, I think I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I really do like the new design of the Google Pixel. Big talking point that I wanted to touch on is the display. So this is the XL version. So this comes with a 6.8 screen, which is flat. They've moved away from the curved screens, which I actually quite enjoyed. I liked the feel of them. Some people didn't because, you know, it missed touches and things along those lines, but I actually quite like that, and it was one of the things that attracted me to kind of the Android phones over the iPhone flat screen. The other things with this is that we're now seeing 3000 nits with this display, which essentially means that when you're outside and it is sunny, you're not going to have a problem seeing this display. It's going to be nice, clear and crisp. There has been some reviewers who have said they've experienced it, that it dims quite a bit after a while of being in brightness. I haven't personally seen that, but I live in the UK, so it's generally not a problem. Other things with the display, it comes with Gorilla Glass Victus 2, so you've got a good screen there, plenty of protection. I've been using it now for probably about 5-6 weeks, and I can't really notice any scratches on there. You might see the odd micro scratch, but in general it is held up pretty well, and I don't have a screen protector on it. I put it in my pocket. I'm not overly careful about what I put it in my pocket with, and I've still not experienced any scratches. I would still recommend putting a screen protector on there if you can. Obviously, just to give you that little bit of added protection. These are expensive phones, so you don't want to get a big scratch and have to replace the display. Something that I've really enjoyed, and for point number 3, is the fingerprint scanner. So on Android, this is something that I enjoy, is that you have multiple ways in which you can unlock your phone. So you've got Face ID, you've got fingerprint scanner, and you've got the PIN and the pattern. Whereas on the iPhone, you've got PIN and you've got Face ID. For me, my favourite out of all of them is the fingerprint scanner. And on this year's Pixel 9 Pro XL and Pro, you've got a ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is brilliant. It's nice and quick. It's very responsive. I haven't experienced any misses when I've gone to unlock my phone using the fingerprint scanner. I recommend scanning a couple of your fingers because I don't know if anything like me, I pick up my phone with my left and my right hand and like to be able to unlock easily with both. So I set up with two fingerprints. Yep, and as I've mentioned, you can use Face ID on this. I personally haven't got that set up because for me, when I use my Android phones, I want to use the fingerprint scanner because I just find it easier and it's so quick and easy to get into your phone. You're not getting those unlocks when you don't want them, when you're just looking at notifications, for instance. So yeah, for me, the fingerprint scanner has been a big upgrade against the previous versions where it's not been quite as good. And it's certainly something that Google have improved on in this year's version of the Pixel. Okay, so number 4 is camera. And I'm not going to go on about the cameras. If you've seen some of my other reviews, this is not something that I go into in depth in. I'm not a photographer. I just want to be able to pick up my phone and take a picture when I want to of my dog, my family, and those moments that you want to capture. So for me, most of the actually all of the flagship phones and most of the phones on the market these days all produce really good photos, and this is no different. It produces a really nice shot. I like the colours, maybe not quite as saturated or as vibrant as the iPhone kicks out, but still a really nice true colour that comes out of the phone, which I really enjoy. You've obviously got the different lengths, the ultra wide, the 5 plus. You've got the macro lens, you've got all of the lenses that you would expect to get from a flagship phone. Talking about the video, it's good. I think for people who are just wanting to pick up their phone and take videos, then you're going to have no issues with this. It's pretty good. You get a really nice shot out of it. You got the zoom in, the zoom out. It's really clear. The transition between the lenses, it can be a little bit stuttery, but again, I think for the average person who's going to be using the phone for taking videos of their kids and memories and their pets and so on, then you're not really going to notice this too much at all. For those of you who are more into content creation and use their phone as in a professional capacity or wanting to get that best quality video, then you're still looking at the iPhone 16 Pro Max with its ProRes log and all of those things that come with that phone. So if camera or video in particular is of importance to you, then maybe the iPhone is the way to go. Number 5 on my list today is battery life, and I have been really impressed with the battery life on this phone. I have been using this quite extensively, and I can get to the end of the day and still have about 40-50%, which I think is really good. I don't have any battery anxiety at all. The charging is quick. I've actually started not charging my phone overnight, so I will charge it up when I need to charge it up. Generally in the morning, if I'm down to let's say 20%, I will just chuck it on charge for an hour while I'm getting ready or doing whatever, and I've got more than enough battery to get me through the day. So this very much competes, I find, with the other flagships that I've owned in terms of the S24 Ultra, but also the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which also has a very impressive battery life, and I feel that this stands up pretty well to both of those phones. So the next on the list is performance, and this has its own G4 Tensor chip that Google make in it. It's not as powerful as, say, the Snapdragon or the Apple A18 chip that are in the flagships of the Samsung and the iPhone respectively, but I haven't found that it is lacking in that department personally. Now, I'm coming from an everyday user. I do not game at all on my phones. I never have. So in terms of performance when gaming, you might want to have a look at another review because I can't really give you any indication on that. But in terms of using it for, using the camera, using social media, consuming content is really nice on there, but also your everyday activities that you use your phone for, you are not going to find that this phone is struggling. It doesn't heat up. I've had no overheating issues either. I have no lags. I've had no apps closing on me or anything along those lines. So in terms of performance, for the everyday user, I don't think that you are going to notice that the Tensor G4 chip is less powerful than other smartphone chips that are out there on the market. And it's certainly not something that I would be worrying about when picking up this phone. Just a couple of other points that I want to touch on, and this is more around Android software and Google AI, for instance. Some of the things that I really enjoy about Android software, and particularly on the Pixel, is the fact that it is actually native Android. So I have Android 15 running on this, and it's by far the best OS in terms of Android phones. I'm not saying that One UI is not good. It's just I prefer the stock Android that comes with the Pixel devices. There's a couple of other bits on there that I really enjoy, which is around being able to adjust your screen size to really, really tiny, to really, really big, and just having those, being able to tweak those settings and the customizability of it all, that you get with Android. A couple of other bits that I really prefer. I really enjoy the way that Android 15 gives you, and Android in general, how it handles the apps. So rather than the way iOS 18 is handling them with the app library, I like that you can just scroll up and you've got all of your apps in a nice grid format, alphabetical, easy to find, easy to navigate. I find it so much easier than on the iPhone. I also prefer notifications on Android and on the Pixel. I like that it has the indicators. I also like that it is substantially easier to just clear all your notifications on an Android phone. Moving on to Google AI. AI is not something that I generally go into on my phone. If I'm going to do something with AI, it's generally ChatGPT and it will be on my laptop. But there are some cool things that you can do with Google AI. You can have a conversation with it, you can ask it questions, and you can interact, and it will provide you with those answers back. You can interrupt it to add a different point or some further validation of what you're asking. There's also things around, you can ask it to create a picture for you. So the other day I asked it to create a truck on a moon picture, which it came back fairly quickly, and it was actually pretty cool. It's a usable thing. It's probably not the best, but actually in terms of quality, I was quite impressed. The other thing that I really, really enjoy is the weather app, which is a random thing. But on the Google Weather, I really enjoy that you get the AI summary of the weather for the day. Might sound like a really small thing, but for me, I quite like the fact that I can just quickly glance at it and it will tell me what the conditions are going to be for the rest of the day. So in that respect, really enjoying that element of it. Like I say, if you want to know more about Google AI or AI in general on phones, then there's plenty of other reviews out there, and maybe it's something that I'll try and get a little bit more into in the future to provide you with some simple reviews on how it can be beneficial on your phone or in general. That leads me to my final thoughts on this phone. So, as I said, I've been using this for about 5 or 6 weeks now, and I'm using it every day alongside my other phone. I've really enjoyed it, and actually, when I pick it up, I really do find that it's nice to just have something different compared to the iOS. I really like the feel of it. I like the look of it. Everything that I do with it is good. I don't struggle with anything. It's no lag. Beautiful display. I enjoy watching content on it. And it's generally just a really good device. And if you're looking for something that's slightly different from, say, a Samsung or an Oppo or something along those lines, and why not have a look at the Google Pixel? They're really cool devices. They're beautiful. But also, if you're wanting to move from iOS and the Apple ecosystem, and you're looking for something to move to that is probably the most similar to that, then the Pixel is the way to go as well. I think in terms of OS, it's the closest, and you'll find it's quite easy to adapt compared to maybe something like a One UI on the Samsung. But yeah, certainly, if you're looking for a new phone and you're looking to change it up, then I'd certainly recommend having a look at the Pixel 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL. So that's it for today. So if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate it if you could hit the like button, and why not drop me a subscribe as well, and I'll catch you in the next one.